This episode of Storytellers is brought to you by Bonifonte Friction, high-quality bell housings.
I'm Bill Donor. Some people call me the greatest promoter ever. I don't know about that, but I'm right here with Storytellers on CompetitionPlusTV. Porky the Pirate, what a guy he was. I think if I told the greatest single one, it would probably take a little more time than you want to put on this, but as you remember in the Storyteller contest, which you can find on there, I told the story about Fremont Raceway and Porky, and that's probably as good as anyone I was ever involved with him. And that has to do with the fact that the late Jungle Jim Lieberman, who was actually born in Fremont, California, was notorious for not showing up at races he was booked into for whatever reason. One thing Jungle used to do was he'd go through the Midwest and he'd set up dates with 3-4 different racetracks on the same day, and he'd drive along and listen to the ads. If you heard his name, he'd just pull in. Well, that wasn't the case at Fremont, but we always ran a race on New Year's Day called the Nitro Bowl. Hugely successful. The ads we did, I thought they were just fabulous. Are you tired of this bowl or that bowl? Well, you've got an option, the Nitro Bowl, Fremont Raceway. And Jungle, one year, begged me to be involved. Oh, God, bit me in this. I'm from Fremont, California, which I didn't even know at the time, because he always lived in the Midwest, the East Coast. And I said, sure, Jungle. So we made a deal, and of course, Jungle didn't show up. And I had any number of kids come to the tower and say, I thought Jungle Jim was going to be here. I heard those say, Jungle Jim was going to be here. And they really, I don't normally have that happen even when one of the people aren't there, but there was a great response and they were really all over me. Well, a year passes. And then during this year, it gets late in the year, Jungle calls me up and says, I know I let you down last year. I know I did it. But please, let me try to make it up. Let me run. And he was so sincere. He said, hey, I'll come out early and do press work for you. I'll do anything you want to do. So I finally said, all right, Jungle, remembering all the people that ask about him. So now it's the race day at Fremont Raceway. And remember, it's New Year's Day. And New Year's Eve was the night before, and lots of people just went out, partied all night, parked in line, and there were their cars. And we got ready to open the gates at 8 in the morning. Well, right there in the front of the cars, when we open up at 8 in the morning, there's Jungle Jim with his ramp truck and his car, and he's sleeping in there with Jungle Pam laying on his shoulder. Then I thought, geez, boy, it's Jungle here. He'd been out partying, of course, with the kids, right in line there all night long. And so we open the gates and let Jungle, everybody comes in. It's all leading up to Porky the Pirate, you'll see. At any rate, Jungle comes up to the tower about 10 in the morning and he says to me, I want to make a pass this morning. And I said, no, don't do that, Jungle. Something will happen to your car and you won't be able to run this afternoon and everybody will be mad at me again. I'll be pissed off and it'll be awful. Please. No, I want to run. No, I'm adamant. Next thing I know, about 30 minutes later, I hear this cackling, blah, 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 the stage line, and there's Jungle Jim coming right around the corner. Going to make a pass no matter what I told him. God gets down in the lights and a ball of fire, comes up to the tower and says to me, well, sorry, you were right. I exploded a fuel tank. There's no way I'm going to be able to run this afternoon. And the mongoose, Tom McEwen, was standing right behind me when this happened. He goes, McEwen leaned over and says, tell him you're not going to give him a single penny for anything, and see what happens. So I told him that. So Jungle said, well, come on, Bill, I'm out here. I tried it. And I said, no, I warn you, no. So Jungle goes off into the pits with his head down. And he comes back up the tower about 20 minutes later and he said to me, page Porky the Pirate to my car right now. Porky the Pirate was a welder, too. And he wore this chrome World War I helmet with a spike on it. And he had a tube that went down his body into his leg was a fuel tank. And it was full of liquor. You know, he made this wine concoction or something he made. And he started drinking that stuff early in the morning with a straw, limping around the pits like this. I mean, he was a sight to behold. A big bushy beard, chrome helmet, thing in his mouth. And anyhow, when he was sober, he was a wonderful welder. That wasn't very often, however. He wasn't sober very often. So we paged Porky the Pirate over there to Jungle's car. That's the last I hear of it for a while. First round comes up, and Jungle comes. He says, all right, I'm ready to run. A miracle. What in the world? How could he have done this? You know? So I say, okay, and I thought, well, we'll teach him a little lesson here. We'll just throw him right up against Don Perdome's U.S. Army Plymouth Arrow, which hadn't lost a race since Christ was a corporal. It had gone through the United States, just devastating people all year. I saw Jungle's there and Perdome's the other way. And when you know, Jungle beats him. Perdome said to me, what was that all about? Anyhow, the day's over, and everybody's running, the crowd was good and everything. So Jungle comes and he says, how'd I do? And he gets his money and he leaves. Now, there's some man, he comes up to the tower, it's late, I'm tired, I've been out the night before too, so I'm pretty beat up, and this nice looking man comes in, he got a little boy with him in a blue blazer. And, I mean, people don't look like this at the races, not at Fremont, not anywhere we're at. So they come up to me and he says, are you Mr. Donor by any chance? And I look at these other people, I say, well, yeah, I am. They said, we've got to talk to you, we've got to show you something. I said, well, talk to me. What do you mean, show me something? He said, come on, you have to come with us. I said, I don't want to come with you. And he said, please do this. You have to come. We have to show you this. And he was pretty adamant. So I had a security guy. There was an off-duty policeman from Fremont. I said, two of them. I said, come on, come with me. Let's see what this is about. So we get over to where this guy's car is, and he's got a Volkswagen, a little Volkswagen. And the whole side of the car has been cut out with a torch. And you can see where they just cut off right down the back fender, down the door and everything. And I'm going, oh no, I know exactly what happened here. They've cut the side of this guy's door off to make a fuel tank for Jungle Jim. And I said, I'm so sorry, sir. I'll try to make it up with you. The guy said, that's not the half of it. He said, come on, let me show you the rest of this deal. So we walk around back of the guy's car, and there in Jungle, Porky has pulled his truck right up the guy's Volkswagen in the back. In the dark, I couldn't see it. And he's welded the guy's Volkswagen to his truck. And I went, oh, geez. The guy said, I can't get out of here. I can't go there. He's welded us together. I said, oh, no. And he said, look at this. And we go on the other side, and there's Porky passed out in the dirt, sleeping underneath his head, right underneath, between the two cars. I said, oh, Jesus, this isn't a pretty sight. And the guy says, oh, he said, Mr. Donor, what do I do? I thought, well, 2 free passes to my next race aren't going to handle this one. So I said, well, and the cop stops. Stop everything, he says. He said, you hold this as the other cop. You keep everything just like this. I'll be back in about 20 minutes. I said, wait. You're not going to go arrest somebody and do this. He says, hell no. I'm going to go get my brother-in-law. He's a professional photographer. I want a picture of this. So I had to make it up to the man, and we got his car fixed, took it in, apologized profusely. It wouldn't have done any good to have Porky tell him, but that's a pretty good Porky story.